Thanks for coming back to Angel Radio. I'm your host, Cece, and I am so glad to tell you I have good news. I ran into Our Lady, the Empress, but she was inverted. I was worried for her for a moment because she came in right next to the Three of Swords, and I thought maybe we were going to have some new trouble. But no, next to it and just a little bit to the side was the Three of Wands to come and tell us that our troubles are at a close. And who should fall out just below but the lovers? The lovers? Well, it looks like Our Lady can enter into a cautious new arrangement. Always cautious with our heart, but the page brings it as good news. This will be a lovely, charming time if you use a little bit of prudence and a little bit of wisdom. Just be patient and let things flourish naturally. No need to rush. Let's see who else is coming up through here. Who is this little new love? Do we know anything about this new? What was this? Do we know anything about this new person? Are they a little bit into the hijinks and the jackassery that requires litigation? Come on now. I thought the page had some good news for us. The Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands. Let's check out what our Nine of Wands has to say to us. Nine of Wands. It came in straight up for us. The card signifies strength and opposition. If attacked, the person will meet the onslaught boldly, and it shows that this person will be formidable. So while they get into some trouble, they seem to be pretty able to handle themselves. So this is going to be a strong personality, an independent person. They like to play hard, but they never quite take it too far. Oh, look at this. The Ace of Pentacles sitting for us, just sitting right out there. Let's see. It was inverted. So it is the evil side of wealth. Bad intelligence, also great riches. And in any case, it shows prosperity, comfortable material conditions, but whether these are of advantage to the possessor will depend on whether the card is reversed or not. Maybe they're a little bit spoiled and they like to get into some extreme sports. They like to play hard because, well, they don't ever have to actually pay for it. Maybe they get into a little bit of legal trouble, or maybe they get into a little bit of trouble with authority. And they're always able to kind of shuffle their way out because they're just a wee bit privileged. A little bit naive about their situation. Yeah, it sounds like they're a little bit privileged. And then they're not accustomed to what normal people have to go through when there's trouble. Well, that's not a terrible thing. Maybe just that they're a little naive about how the rest of the world works. If you're going to come into somebody with, if this new love is with someone who is, this kind of screams generational wealth, a little bit. Generational wealth, baby. Maybe their parents worked really hard, but they've never really had to work real hard. And so they might see a little bit of emotional immaturity. I don't see the emotional immaturity so much as just a lack of kind of real world life experience. Let's see. The Five of Cups. It's in its upright. It's a card of loss, but something remains left over. Somebody learned a lesson here. Somebody got a little bit in over their heads and thought that they could maybe smooth talk their way out of it. I'm not seeing a whole, except for with the Ace of Pentacles. I mean, it's just kind of buy your way out. Anyway, yeah, it's a card of inheritance. and transmission of wealth, but not corresponding to expectations. With some interpreters, it is a card of marriage, but not without frustration. So there's an agreement happening here. Somebody's having to lean in on borrowing a favor. This might have spoke earlier to our group of friends that got into trouble and had their daddy bail them out. It's still going to cost them a little bit of something. Remember that guy, he's austere but firm. And whether or not we're going to feel great about this is going to come out later. That's going to come out later. We don't really know if we're going to be in the doghouse for very long, or if this is a permanent, like we can never do this again. Because, you know, if you're a little bit privileged, part of that is being able to take a slap on the hand instead of a jail time. I don't want to sound too proud of my low status of not being able to buy my way out of jail, but somebody was supposed to take a hit there and they didn't. It's a personal moral issue. So the question becomes, did they learn their lesson? Have they grown up? Are they mature enough to be in a real relationship, thusly warranting your well-earned cautious feeling? They're great in this mode. They can cover their expenses, but can they make it pay? Can they do this without it costing other people? Well, we got the Queen of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. So, Queen of Pentacles, my dear, tell us everything. Tell us everything. Queen of Pentacles, oh, let's see. She's a dark woman, and I take that as being kind of serious, somber, whose qualities might be summed up in the idea of greatness of soul. She has a serious cast of intelligence. She contemplates her symbol and may see worlds therein. Trust your intuition here. If you see a party boy, honey, if this is like a 60-year-old fuckboy, walk on. But if you see this person recognizing, oh, I'm being talked to here, girlfriend, because there's a fellow that I don't even have time for, but everyone keeps telling me that he's kind of like grown up a little bit, and I'm not buying it. The Eight of Cups. Maybe this will change our minds, and maybe this will give us a different perspective. Yeesh. It speaks for itself on the surface, but other readings are entirely contradicting, giving joy, mildness, timidity, honor, modesty. In practice, it's usually found that the card shows a decline of a matter, or that a matter which has been thought to be very important is really of slight consequence. Again, this could be a little bit of some naive, cover my ass a little bit. It's really not that bad. Come on. It's not that bad. This is really not that serious. Well, maybe in your world, and honey, 3 strikes is 3 strikes. But I guess if you live in a world where you don't ever get the first 2 strikes, this really is just hijinks. Maybe they cut it awfully fucking close, an awful lot. I don't get the feeling that they're being bailed out this time like they were before. Like maybe I thought somebody was bailing them out, or you thought someone was bailing them out, and it was just these guys, they go and play hard and then they pay their fees. These guys go and play hard and then they go pay their fines. They know they're breaking the law. They know they're going to get in trouble. It's just like I'm getting like extreme sports parachuting off the top of a skyscraper kind of fines. Um, Hijinks and jackassery. That's who this guy is. You're gonna have to take that with it. Everything seems to work out fine. You gotta, I don't know, have a look. Have a look. Watch what he's doing. Watch what they're doing and see. Go see for yourself and see. Go watch the clips. Watch the video. See what you can find out about what it is you think you're watching. I mean, right now I get the impression you're going, what the fuck am I looking at? I hear that from guys a lot. What the fuck is she doing now? So, you know, to borrow a phrase, flip it where it goes. Everything probably will work out just fine. Do you need a little more here? I need a little more here. I need a little more here. Because again, this was you getting shook up because you worried about this shit falling around your ears. And really the end of that time to worry is over. And maybe he's not a 60-year-old fuckboy, but he still plays hard. Hell, I still ride dirt bikes. I just started. I'm 52. Right. I did, however, stop skateboarding at 38 when I broke my arm. I'd never broken my limbs before. That sucked. We all gotta grow up sometime. And maybe. I mean, if he's not like 45 and shagging his best friend's niece after a house party on the couch after everybody's gone to bed, she's showing up with a baby. And to this end, I start telling you a story about somebody I knew who was in his 50s with a middle schooler because he shagged his best friend's niece on the sofa after everybody got drunk and passed out. I guess she thought he was cute. Anyway, she comes back 9-10 months later. She's got a serious drug problem and can't take care of her baby. And guess what? It's his. Out of freaking nowhere. The guy had never had a child before. I don't know that he'd ever been married. I can't really remember that clear. Anyhow, somebody's got a baby on the way. Somebody wants you to think that there's a baby on the way. Somebody wants you to think that there is a child in play. That would be kind of the